customers. Turn $5 into $200 if your bet wins paid in bonus bets. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. This gives you a shot at an even bigger payout. Do you love the thrill of live betting? Because DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-action fights right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have a shot at cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code SONNEN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. WrestleTown USA. Are you guys following this? It's a YouTube page. Dare I say, as somebody with a YouTube page, this is the greatest page on YouTube. WrestleTown USA. If you're a wrestling fan, done. You're going to love it. If you're not a wrestling fan, if you go and watch this page, you will want to jump up and run through a wall. Right? You know, you usually drive around in your car and you like turn some music up to get fired up before school, something like this. Go watch this page. That is the feeling you're going to leave with. Now, I'm checking this page out. So then it changes my algorithm. I start getting sent this wrestling content. I come across a very interesting story, and I'm going to take this source at his word. I must admit, this is my level of verification, but 174 pounds, Big Ten tournament this year, as in coming right up. Number 1 seed comes from Nebraska. His name is Minto. Now, as soon as I see that, I immediately worry for Levi Haines because I'm assuming that he must have been injured and he's pulled out of the tournament. Levi Haines is the best wrestler in America. Not Chael's opinion. Not just the fact that he's an NCAA champion, not just the fact that he's a Big Ten champion multiple times, not just the fact that he's ranked number 1 and completely undefeated. He's our world team representative currently, right now. He is USAW's number 1 ranked guy in addition to being the NCAA's number 1 ranked guy. So I just assumed that he's gone. No, false. He got the number 2 seed. Levi Haines got the number 2 seed. I watched Levi Haines beat Minto head to head 6 days ago. How can this be? Well, I'm glad that you asked. So it turns out they've gone back to a computer. They've gone to an algorithm. Now, I grew up through this. I grew up through something called the BCS, and the BCS was a computer program, but it would tell us who the college national football champion was. It would spit it out. There was no playoffs. You would have your season, and it would tell us who the national champion was. One year, the computer spit out 2 names, which is impossible. Champion is singular. It is not plural. The computer put out 2 names. There was a dead tie. And both teams were recognized, go down today, held parades in their hometowns, had celebrations, the whole bit. 2 national champions. They never played each other. Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. They've gone back to a system like this, and the algorithm is looking for, in addition to other things, but the algorithm is going to recognize, it's going to have a human element where it can recognize who had harder competition. So Minto, while he lost to Levi Haines 6 days ago, wrestled the number 1 guy in the country, who is Levi Haines. Levi Haines did not wrestle the number 1 guy in the country. Because it's him. Do you see the very clear problem? So what do you do with that? What do you do now? If you're a leader, if you're Cael Sanderson, let's say, you have the right to protest. There is a process in place where you can bring forward what I just said, and everybody in the room, of course, is going to see it with you. But what do you do? Do you take the old school wrestling approach, which is, well, it doesn't matter, you got to beat them all anyway. I don't care. We don't care about seeds. They don't seed at the... And then fill in the blank, right? Some years the Olympics or the World Championship, they do blind draw and all sorts of things. You got to beat them all. Do you take that stance? That's probably the stance that most of you would take if you were the absolute powerhouse like Cael Sanderson is. Or do you fight for your guy in every situation, no matter what, no matter how ridiculous, and no matter if it matters or not? If something wrong happens to your guy and you have an ability to defend him, do you? Because that's the one that Cael's going with. And it's the right one, by the way. I mean, what a strange situation. We're on the topic of wrestling. I get fed an interview by Bo Nickal. And Bo Nickal was discussing something with Daniel Cormier. It had to do with money. And they're talking about guys can make on wrestling teams between $100,000 and $400,000 a year. And Bo even steps in front of that and goes, man, I know some guys that are balling. They're getting 7 figures. Bo graduated and he's talking about, man, that wasn't even a thing. And there is some truth to that. Nobody is making $1 million a year yet in wrestling. That has not happened. But, well, no, there is one guy. I shouldn't have said that. Jax is. But collectively, like a guy, if he does $1 million deal in wrestling, it's spread out through his whole career. So that's where it comes back to more of like that 300 to 400 grand number if you're talking annually. So at any rate, is that good for the sport? Is that bad for the sport? It's bad for college athletics overall. What is the alternative? The alternative is what we did up until the NIL, which is the NCAA keep all the money. And that was also wrong. That was wrong to the point that there should be reparations on that. That was a very, very greedy and underhand thing to do. But where's the balance? Right? There's nothing more annoying than a guy who comes out and complains about your idea, but doesn't offer a suggestion. He just complains and tells you what's wrong with your suggestion. And that's where we're at right now. There hasn't been somebody that stepped forward and go, guys, deep breath, here's another way to do it. That hasn't happened yet. So that's where the food for thought comes in, and everybody has the right to pitch in their idea. But if I was asked the question, is it better or worse for the sport? It's better. It is better. Does it come with all sorts of unforeseen consequences? Yeah, sure. Everything does.